Alors, bonjour à toi, j'espère que tu vas super bien. C'est ton boy Fabio Le Saint de retour pour une nouvelle vidéo. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes samedi, tu vois, je suis tranquille, posé au calme. Et aujourd'hui, je reçois une de mes grandes sœurs. Et avant même de commencer, je tiens toujours à dire ceci. Si vous êtes aux États-Unis, que vous aimez mon contenu, vous aimez ce que je fais comme vidéo, et si vous voulez également...
Je reçois une de mes grandes sœurs. Et avant même de commencer, je tiens toujours à dire ceci.
can you
Si vous êtes
please...
aux États-Unis, vous aimez mon
I can hear
contenu
you back.
que je fais comme vidéo, et si vous voulez également... Je reçois une de mes grandes sœurs. Et avant même de commencer, je tiens toujours à dire ceci.
En fait, j'entends ton micro. Le son est trop fort, en fait.
Je fais comme vidéo, et si vous voulez également... Je reçois...
All right, thank you. Avant même de commencer, donc je tiens à dire si vous êtes aux États-Unis et que vous aimez mon contenu, n'hésitez surtout pas à m'envoyer une invitation. Écrivez-moi un message en inbox. Comme ça, on pourra caler un truc pour faire une vidéo ensemble. Je suis curieux d'apprendre de votre expérience. Et si vous avez un truc à partager avec l'audience, sachez que ma chaîne est au fait une aubaine pour partager votre expérience aux États-Unis, bonne comme mauvaise. Vous êtes toujours la bienvenue. Donc, n'hésitez surtout pas à m'écrire sur Instagram, Facebook, même laisser un commentaire en bas de la vidéo, ce sera toujours la bienvenue. Également, il y a le super chat qui est activé. Vous pouvez toujours me soutenir pour plus de contenu, tu vois. J'ai plein de choses, j'ai plein d'idées dans ma tête, mais j'ai vraiment besoin de soutien. Donc, n'hésitez pas à me soutenir avec le super chat, $1,99, whatever, peu importe ce que vous pouvez faire, moi, ça me ferait plaisir. Donc, avant de commencer, laissez un pouce bleu, laissez un commentaire, et sans plus tarder, j'introduis mon invité qui ne sont plus autre que Capitaine Allado. Hello, man. Hello. Your mic is mute.
Probably I would get a hang of this.
How are you, man?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Hang of this.
Can you please reduce the volume of the?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Hang of this.
Can you reduce the volume of the...
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I feel like that is like, do you have like a phone out there, like maybe watching the same thing at the same time?
No, my phone is not on.
That's funny because I feel like I'm hearing myself talking and I'm hearing the conversation.
Watching the same thing at the same time?
No. Let me turn off like everything else on my.
Because I feel like I'm hearing myself talking and I'm hearing the conversation at the same time.
Let me turn off like everything else on my.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm hearing myself talking and I'm hearing
There is echo.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, great. Yeah, now I can hear. Now everything's now. I was like, all right. So we gotta start over. So d'abord, je tiens d'abord à dire que mon invité va potentiellement s'exprimer en français et en anglais because she's been here for a very long time. So elle est plus à l'aise en anglais qu'en français, donc elle va swinger entre les deux. So I know you guys are great. You guys are very good in English. You got this, so don't worry about it. So good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Hey, thank you for coming. I know you're so busy. I really appreciate that you make time to come talk to us today, and I'm very grateful to have you. Welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Glad to be here.
Thank you. And so, au cas où vous savez pas, elle s'appelle Capitaine Allado. Elle est togolaise également. Donc, vous savez, j'aime souvent inviter les frères du pays, tu vois, entre nous Togolais. Là. Voilà. Before we start, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience to know who you are.
Okay. So I'm Captain Allado. I am a U.S. Army officer, active duty, and I am a provider, which means that I am the doctor that most of our soldiers see, soldiers and soldiers' family. So I take care of their health issue and plan for mission readiness.
Nice. So before we even get there, before we even get to the military part of your life and stuff, we would like to go back. Let's start over. Tell us, when did you come to United States?
I came to US in 2002. So
Wow, that was a long time.
don't judge me.
I'm not.
Donc, ce que je disais, c'est que je suis venue aux États-Unis en 2002 et présentement, je suis officière dans l'armée des États-Unis et je suis médecin. Or one thing they call here is a physician assistant or physician associate. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, you want us to go in French because I can do both though. You know, whatever was for you, but you feel free to answer which way was better for you. So, tu es arrivé en 2002. So, tell us, comment c'était quand tu étais arrivé au début, when you first get here in 2002 with the language and with everything? How was it when you first get here?
So when I got here in 2002, again, I'm going to go between French and English, okay? Donc, quand je suis venue en 2002, sûrement, la langue était un problème. Et je pense que j'ai eu mon BPC quand j'ai quitté le pays, ce qui signifie que j'ai fini mon middle school. Quand tu when you think about the US school system, it's like middle school. Et puis, quand je suis venue, j'ai commencé le high school, 10th grade, et de là, j'étais au collège et puis à l'université où j'ai fait la biochimie. Et après ça, j'ai eu ma maîtrise en études de physician assistant. Et à part ça, je suis rentrée dans l'armée.
Ok, dit comme ça a l'air simple. C'est comme si c'était tellement rapide, c'est passé rapidement. Raconte-nous, en fait, quand tu es arrivé ici, tu es allé au collège quand tu étais arrivé ici, c'est ça? Tu as commencé le collège et tout, c'est ça?
J'ai commencé le high school.
Le high school.
Ce qui est...
le lycée?
Le lycée, oui. Le high school, c'est le lycée. Donc, j'ai commencé le lycée ici. Et puis, après 2 ans, j'ai commencé le collège. Et puis, après ça, c'est l'université. Et après l'université, c'est graduate school où j'ai eu ma maîtrise.
OK. Maintenant, raconte quel était tes challenges au début, as coming from Africa, et devoir aller à l'école, au lycée et tout. Quels étaient les challenges que tu as eu à relever venant d'Afrique et venant dans un système, déjà la langue est différente et le système éducatif est différent? Quels étaient les challenges que tu as dû relever à tes débuts?
Okay, can you say that in English?
Right. I was asking, what was the challenges you had to face? You know, coming from Africa, you know, like usually back home is was French system, and having to come here in English and in US where everything is happening in English and all this. What were the challenges you had to face when you first get here, and in order to transition between French and English?
Okay, one thing for sure is how do you fit in? The culture is totally different. Of course, in my household, my parents still, those African, parents. So I wasn't able to really assimilate myself into the American way of schooling. When I talk to, staying after school, participating in school activity, that was now one of mine. You go to school, you come back, you do the chores at home, and on Sunday you go to church. So my high school was mostly like that. I wasn't able to participate in many after-school activity. So you can call it boring, but I'm glad that was the way it went, because the high school here is very challenging. During the high school period, a lot of students are in the teenage age, and they want to try a lot of things. So there is a lot of peer pressure, and sometimes it doesn't end up well. So being focused and having parents that really know what you can get yourself into, and actually protecting you from those things, as far as coming back home when you finish school, make sure you do your chore, and you do what you need to do.
Right.
And don't be out there like playing and doing all those things that can get you in trouble. So my high school, that was about it. It was kind of boring.
So now you graduate high school and you went to college. What makes you decide to go for like science and like nurse? I mean, is that what's the program you need to do in college in order to become like a PA or physician assistant?
Okay, so as far as a school here is concerned, I will get to the physician assistant aspect. Okay. But after high school, when you go to college, you can choose any career path that you want. However, if you know that you are more aligned with science, like you possibly gonna go into either engineering, either physics or mathematics, or I should say doctor or nursing, anything health related, then you need to take science courses. You're going to take all other courses, but the core of your degree will mainly be science courses. So when I started at Montgomery College at Silver Spring, Maryland, my associate degree, which is 2 years of college education, was in pre-pharmacy. And then once I did the pre-pharmacy and I actually graduated, I transferred to University of Maryland, where I did my bachelor's in biochemistry. So after biochemistry, the next step after bachelor's, the next step is, getting your master. Now that's where the question came about, like, what am I going to pursue, my career when it comes to, health related studies. Okay. While at the University of Maryland, I was working in his biomedical research lab, where we usually go out, take samples of any kind of animal, and then we come and test it and process the DNA, the genome in the lab. And those sort of lab is very, it's not challenging, but in a way it's lonesome because it's just you and those lab machine.
Damn, that might be.
And sometimes when you miss one thing, like, you have to redo everything over. So when at the end of I would say when I was a junior, which is a year before you graduate, it was becoming more boring. So I took on a second job where I started working with individuals with autism. So that's where I really got my calling to proceed and be medical, be a medical provider in a way. So after the bachelor's, then you can go ahead and put in your application for physician assistant studies. And if you got accepted, it's very competitive programs. And when you get accepted, then you go and you finish your master's.
Okay, I would like to go back a little bit. When you say in college, you say you did pre-pharmacy studies?
Yes, I did pre-pharmacy.
What is the difference between pharmacy and pre-pharmacy? Because I only know pharmacy because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to go pharmacy because they said they pay well. That's what they said. But what is the difference between pre-pharmacy and pharmacy studies?
Well, pre-pharmacy is just like you are taking the basic courses like chemistry, general chemistry, organic chemistry, physics, math. So you are not really into like how to put medication together or how to create medication and things like that. So there is pre-pharmacy, there is a pre-PA school, there is pre-med. So all those things is that before you really get into med school or pharmacy school or PA school, you do those prerequisites. So you're going to need those in order to get into your degree seeking program.
Okay. Wow. And now that we move on, what makes you, after you graduate, you had your bachelor degree, you see you had your master as well, right?
Yes.
What makes you decide to join the military? Like, because I assume with that job, with your master, you might have a better job. It's even a word, be the own boss. You know what I'm saying? What makes you decide to join the military?
So that's a question that me myself, I'm not puzzled, but it takes time for me to really give a concrete answer. But one thing I would tell you is that personally, I love community. I love groups. And when I finished with my studies in Philadelphia for my PA school, I returned back to Maryland and I did work in this private clinic for some time. But for everything, you think about what is happening now and what it is going to be in the future.
Okay.
So yes, right now I am a PA, I'm a physician assistant. Okay, what is next? That's how I think. What is next? And beside being a PA, I'm also involved in my community. That's when I created my first nonprofit organization, Dream and Success Initiative, just to get the community together, especially the young people, and kind of guide them into their career choices, their personal life, personal development, and things like that. So once I start working in the civilian, I have to ask myself, what is next? Because I don't like to be, I like comfort, but I don't like to be too comfortable in a place when I know that I can do more.
Right.
Doing that more lead me to deciding after 3 months of graduating that, okay, I need to get into, either the Army or the Air Force, because I admire what those soldiers do. And I want to be a part of them. I want to be, one of those people that take care of them so that they can be, ready to protect our nation.
Interesting. That's a very good way of thinking, because sometimes we don't really think about it like the way we put our perspective is more like, oh, okay, I went to school, I have my master, I'm make a lot of good money out there, so why should I join the military again? Hey, I like the way of you thinking stuff. Now, tell us, how was your process? Like, how did you get in touch with a recruiter, and how was the process before getting the military for you with coming with a master's degree?
Okay, so coming with a master's degree, it's clear that I am going to be an officer. Usually, once you get your bachelor degree and you want to join the Army, there is more likely that you will be an officer compared to an enlisted. So when I decided that, I want to go the Army route, what I did is to go on Google and then look for Army recruiter in my area.
Okay.
I look for Army recruiters in my area. And, I think I left a voicemail, and then they called me back. I don't remember where I was when they called me back. But I wasn't too far from the recruiting center. And then immediately I stopped there and I told them that, okay, this is a degree that I have and I want to join the Army. Where do I start? So they give you this list of things that you have to complete. Okay. And I'm like, this is like a job interview. But and they give you a deadline when you can complete everything by. and then they will assign you either a staff sergeant or sergeant first class who is in the recruiting center, and they will contact you, work with you in regard to your application, and then get any clearance that you may need, any lab work that you may need. They will do all that, guide you through it, and then once they submit the package, you wait another year before you get the response whether you are accepted or not. So
why is it so long though? I feel like it's taking longer, like more than if you were enlisted, because as enlisted, you go talk to the recruiter and then he makes sure that you got your paperwork on order, and then he will make you take like a pre-ASVAB test. It's like a thing like math, and some type of English. And then if he see your score and he thinks like you're decent, he will give you a couple of time, maybe 1 or 2 months. He will tell you to go get ready for the test. You come back, and by the time he will give you like a big package. It's like 23 pages you need to fill out. And when you fill them out, you come back, you go to the maps, you pass your test, you choose your job, you go to the maps, and then you sign a contract, and then that's it. And then they say, okay, you get shipped in 2 or 3 months, maybe 4. So now that you're telling me it makes like it's more longer, it takes like over a year, man, that's long.
Yes, it takes over a year. Again, you will think about how like the army look at officer compared to the enlisted. So with officer, again, everything is serious. I'm not saying that with enlisted is not. I'm not saying that with enlisted is not, but with officer, we are like on the microscopic, side of things where they really want to make sure that who they get in, is really, really the person that they need. So I think that's why it takes so long for the officers to join the army than the
enlisted. Okay, that's good to know. So, okay, did you have to pass the ASVAB as a recruit, as officer? Did they make you go through the ASVAB test as well?
What is the ASVAB?
Okay, then that you know. The ASVAB is like okay, as enlisted, they'll give you the ASVAB is a test of 10 subjects, math, mechanic, all those stuff. And then you get your job based on your score on the ASVAB. So basically, I think they're trying to know what are you efficient in, what subject are you good in, math, whatever. Imagine, I think I was okay in some topic, and then they gave me supply. So depending on your job and the score you have in each topic, you qualify for some type of job. So that means if you say no, that means you guys don't do that. So that's why.
Yeah, no, because if you get your bachelor's, you get your bachelor in something. Right, your degree it is something specific. And if you get your master, you get your master in something specific. So once you come with that, I don't think they need to do
because they know already your specific, like what you're gonna become, like what you're going toward to.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now after that, tell us a story, like little story about your path. Like after, like how did it go when you start talking to recruiter until what was your feeling during that time, and when you joined, like what was the process to go from master? To go from being graduated from from master and then become an officer. The first times.
So just to make sure I get the question right, is once I decided to join the army.
Yeah, and after you would already talk to your recruiter, he gave you, like he said, come after 1 year, all this stuff. We just want to know the story, how it went, like what was your feeling during that time, and does it happen to be like, I think I should change my mind, some type of stuff.
Okay, so waiting for the army was nerve-wracking. I was anxious. I don't know why I was anxious, because whether I get into the army or not, I will have job.
Okay.
But I think that I will be a lot more fulfilled in the army than in the civilian. So I was still working, and I was still doing things with my a nonprofit organization. So that kind of keep me busy.
Tell us about your about your know your organization. Like,
Okay.
what do you do? What is the goal? And what is the vision of your non-profit organization?
Well, the vision of that of Dream and Success initiative is to easily integrate youth of our community into
Okay.
the American society.
Okay.
When I came here as a as a teenager,
Okay.
life is very different. American life is very, very different. And if you take American youth compared to African youth, the experience that we endure are pretty different. So the vision of that is how to empower, encourage anyone who is an immigrant who come to US and trying to find themselves, how to guide them, how to let them focus on what is important. So what we do is that we will hold mini conferences or a meeting here and there, have a workshop where we discuss, personal development, career development, and again, how important faith is. Faith is just believing in yourself that God, who has created you, has something greater in you that you can actually focus on and work on so you can develop yourself. So the main vision of Dream and Success Initiative is to empower and encourage our young people to really keep focused. America is great with a lot of distraction. If you come here and you are not focused, one little thing, you will see your life 10 years backward. So how do we, for the new one that are coming and for the one that are born here or came here at a young age, and they're all trying to fit in, we all trying to fit in. Some people make it through and some don't. So the main goal, the main vision of that organization is to let them know that, if you are immigrant, you come here, we understand that you're trying to fit in. We are here for you only if you are willing to listen, to guide you so that you can also achieve your American dream and, live and fulfill life in
Wow.
America. Yeah.
That's interesting though. So I have a question. Do you accept people like me? Because I guess I'm still young. What is the age? What is the age gap of youth or maybe of young people you accept in your organization?
Well, the age gap is usually from ninth grade, which is at 14. But some people are more mature than others. So
Right.
if you hear the vision and you are interested, we want you to join us. If you are over, and another thing is that we have immigrants who are like they came here at 25, right?
Yeah.
So they cannot go to high school anymore and they had to find a new path when they come to school. So we are also there to help them out. We cannot hold their hand as we will do the young one, but we will provide them with some information that can lead them on to actually get to live that life that they desire in US. So we do a lot of things that focus on multiple ages, if I can say it, but mainly is like 14 to 25. Yeah.
I would like. I'm pretty sure there might be people like who will be willing to know more about your organization. So can you maybe write me like the link in this private chat so I can publish it here so people can go take a look and then learn more about your organization. And then I'm pretty sure, because I know a lot of people be watching my channel, like they're coming from Africa, and a lot of them like trying to know, what to do. They're trying to figure out, like they're not trying to make some stupid mistakes. So I'm pretty sure your organization might be very welcome for those people who trying to find their path coming to United States and kind of learning from learning from other people. So definitely. N'hésitez surtout pas. Je vais mettre le lien de son ONG en commentaire. Et je n'hésitais pas à jeter un coup d'œil parce que l'objectif, c'est d'aider les jeunes à pouvoir trouver leur voie, tu vois, et essayer de ne pas perdre le temps. Comme elle a dit, on est aussi aux États-Unis, c'est facile. Il y a beaucoup d'opportunités, mais il est aussi facile de pouvoir être perturbé par la vie ou bien par le style de vie. Donc, je pense que cette organisation serait une très bonne chose pour les gens qui viennent d'arriver, qui ont besoin de guides, qui ont besoin de mentorship, qui ont vraiment besoin d'aide pour avancer et être focalisés sur leur à venir. Donc, n'hésitez surtout pas. Je vais me donner le lien de son ONG. Je vais la poster en commentaire et allez jeter un coup d'œil. Et si ça vous intéresse, écrivez-la et puis je pense que ça serait aussi une bonne aide. That's why we're here. L'objectif, c'est vraiment de s'aider et de voir quelles sont les opportunités qu'il y a out there pour nos frères et sœurs qui viennent d'Afrique et qui veulent réussir et qui veulent faire de bonnes choses ici aux États-Unis. Donc, voilà.
Merci.
My pleasure. That's my job.
Thank you.
But that's very interesting, though. I think that's very good. The first thing, like, congratulations for the initiative because we don't, as African, we really don't have much of those organizations that help us, like mentorship that help us, because I think I feel like whenever we get here, everybody's kind of try to figure out his life on his own way, and it's always better to have like somebody who know what they're doing and who have a vision like, hey, this is what we want to help you do, and we will guide you, we will accompany you toward your goal. And honestly, congratulations for that. And please don't forget to send me the link so I will post it.
I did send it to you through WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Oh, okay. I thought, okay, fine. It's fine. I can figure it out. So it's fine. All right. Yeah. All right. Now moving on. You say you have two organizations, right? Or one? I heard you say two.
No, it's one.
It's one.
Yeah, it's one.
Maybe I wish you to have a second one soon. That's why I'm mentioning the second one.
Okay, we will think about that one.
Okay, so now coming back to the military path, like when you start in US. So, what is the training you have to go through to become officer? Because as enlisted, we have to go through the basic training where they teach you how to become a soldier, how to use weapon, all those stuff, and grenade, all those stuff. What is the journey of an officer to become, like, second lieutenant, for example? What is the training you guys going through?
Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I was direct commission. Okay. Which means that when I came in, I already have all the requirements for me to be an officer. Okay. However, for individuals who are on the enlisted side and want to become officer, they have their own school that they go to become officer.
Right.
Okay. So as far as being a medical provider. And when we talk about medical provider, we mean doctors, PA, NP, nurses. I know there are level of medical, when it comes to medical providers, there are levels, but everyone has a different way to come in.
Right.
So as far as I am concerned, I am direct commission as an officer, as a physician assistant. So my AOC or my MOS is 65 Delta. Okay. Another way for enlisted individual who want to become a PA, the Army has its own program that accept applications. I think it's every year. And once they're enlisted or the NCO put in that application, they get into the program, and they call that program IPAP, which is Inter-Service Physician Assistant Program. So if you are already in the Army, you are enlisted, and you have the desire to pursue your career, becoming a physician assistant, then you need to go to MilPER. Okay, we know MilPER. You go on there, and then it will have all the information that you need to go through the IPAP program, which is an Army program, to become a physician assistant. Another way to become if you are already an enlisted, is that you can actually ETS from the Army. You can ETS from the Army and apply to civilian physician assistant studies program. And then once you finish that, you come back in as an officer and you come as first lieutenant.
That's a little long though. that's a lot of stuff to do. You got to ETS before going to civilian.
Yeah, I mean, it may seem longer, but the IPAP is a very competitive program. And the reason for that is that we have so many NCO, very competent, very intelligent NCO who, you know, like, okay, if they retire, what they're gonna do, right? So a lot of them want to have something that when they retire, that they can continue and work with. Right. So for that reason, IPAP is one of those programs that they take the advantage of. So getting into IPAP, you have to be, we're talking about Army, you know, competency, which is not a joke. You have to really be up there to get into the program. So people who don't want to do the competition, we just be like, you know what, I'm gonna get out. And when you go outside to get into the civilian PA program, then you have kind of some sort of advantage because you have the, you know, the military service aspect of it. So on your personal statement, that's something that can, you know, put you up there, like your resilience, you are, you know, adaptable, you have all these qualities that, you know, they need to for leaders or for a PA student and possible PAs. So you already have that. So that puts you on the edge into being accepted in the civilian PA program.
Interesting.
Yeah. So another thing is that when it comes to doctors, there is Uniform Service University.
Okay, tell us about it.
Okay, so this is a program. It is university that have all the health sciences, like public health and others, as well as the, you know, the MD or the DA program. So with the USU, you go in, like once you graduate from high school or from college or university and you want to pursue a medical career, you can apply to this school. And once you get in, the tuition is free. Everything is free. And they give you monthly allowance. Okay, they pay for your housing and things like that. Depend on the path that you take. Once you graduate, you will have to serve a certain years in the U.S. Army, and once you finish serving, you get out.
Hey, that's, I mean, that's worth it. I mean, that's a good deal.
That's a good deal. That's I wish I knew about that before. and just to say that, you know, I'm the first one in my family to join the military.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. So, I mean, when I went and said I'm joining the military, they thought I was cuckoo. Exactly. So
I know that feeling. I know, like, a lot of people being like same thing. A lot of my friends are like, "Oh, you joined the military. They're gonna send you in Afghanistan. You will get killed." I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, forget about it.
Yeah. So I didn't, know of that program until, now when I'm thinking about where do I go next, right? There is always, no matter where you are, always think about, okay, what am I going to do next? where I'm going next. And that's how you grow, by going the next level is how you grow. So I came to find about it, when I'm like, okay, now I'm here, I'm PA in the Army, what's next? So it's a great program, especially for high school students or even our parents. Most of the time we don't want to have anything to do with the Army. But this is one thing about the Army that I came to understand. If you have a child, or I would say we have our own insight when it comes to military. Okay, some good, some bad, but one way or another, we need it. We need this institution, and we need people in the institution, right? So for our parents that are afraid of their kid joining the Army or so, again, it's good to do your research. Army is not all bad. Okay, Army is not all bad. When I got into the Army, I happened to discover that no matter who you are, whether you are Caucasian, Hispanic, Indian, you name it, okay, everyone come with a certain level. I mean, they all have a story why they joined the Army. And I think for me is a very humbling. Some people join the Army to find themselves. And I always tell you that if you have a child or you concerned about, someone, a youngster, Army will definitely put them in that path where they will have to, learn what it means to be a human being first, okay? And then what it means to have dignity, what it means to know your value, what it means to actually put the step forward to do the things that not only that you are required to do, but that you think need to be done. So we had to find a different way when it comes to joining the Army or being part of the Army. What is the reason why we are joining? It is great opportunity for anyone that, even if you don't know what you're going to do in the Army, just in there, the doctrine itself is going to straighten you up. And then when you get into your MOS or your AOC, then you learn the different skills.
Interesting. I think that's a good piece of advice. I take it. And now I have this question.
Yes.
I know you start working civilian world as PA before joining the military. Now, what is the difference if now being a PA in the military, having to like take care of all those soldiers, and all, like being PA in civilian? What is the difference? Do you like it better being in the military as PA, or do you like, or you prefer, you like in the civilian what is better? What is different between both worlds, army and outside, and what is the relationship how do you deal with both soldiers and civilian? Is it different? Is it better with soldiers? What is your thought about it?
Well, like I told you before, Army has its own way of making PAs, right? So people who come from the civilian, they are very little, maybe 0.001%.
Okay.
So the reason why I joined the Army at first, still what drives me. If I am in the civilian, yes, I will take care of patients, and they come, they go, that's it. In the Army, I still take care of soldiers who are patients and their family. But the other aspect of it is that now not only I take care of them when it comes to health-wise, but also I am their advocate. When it comes to the mission, the commander with the mission and intent, and then the soldier, as far as their readiness and their health is concerned, I am that person in the middle. So I am in the army. I am soldier first, army strong. So I had to support the mission. I had to make sure that my team, my troops are medically ready for the mission. At the same time, we can have soldiers who may need just a little bit of attention, right? Or we may have a soldier who not, it's not that they are physically incapable of, joining the mission, but also mentally, and there are other things. I mean, as a provider, you also dealing with their family issue, their personal issue, and all that. So and all that is part of the medical readiness, right? So it's not just come, I give you a pill and then you go, but mentally from head to toe, I can see body, mind, and soul. Are they ready to go and fight? Are they ready to make sure that the mission is accomplished? So I am in there where I have to make sure they know, the soldiers know what is it when it comes to the mission. And I also have to let the commander know when it comes to the soldiers' medical readiness. So I definitely, if I will do it over again, I will. One thing that sometimes I question is the administrative part.
Okay.
So there is a lot of memo you have to write, a lot of document that you have to write when it comes to soldiers, a lot of, documentation and things like that. So that aspect of it, I don't enjoy it much, but again, it's a part of being a leader. Because everything that you do has to be in writing. You have to have record of that. And when I first came into the army, the clinical part of it, I have it down because it doesn't really change. But how you practice army medicine is totally different from civilian medicine. And that is where the excitement is. That's where the adventure is. That's where pushing yourself to the limit. That's where it's the selfless service. That's when it come into play. So, and those are the things that I feel fulfilling because yes, the money, I will get it. The house, I will get it. All that, I will get it. But, and then what? For me is, yes, I will work and get money and get it. And then what? But those soldiers, you build relationship with them, right? So again, for me being so involved in the community and coming on to the army aspect, I'm building another community.
Right.
That's I will do it again. I will join the army again.
That's funny because when you've been telling it makes it that makes me think about chaplain. You know, it's pretty much like how chaplain life also is, like how to talk to soldiers, how to like have to listen to them, like how to build the relationship with them, like comprehend what they're going through and advocate for them as well.
Yeah.
It's PA and also chaplain. I feel like it's very close, but I think that's one thing also I like about the army, the fact that you met like some random stranger people, but your job make like you guys come together. You found like a common like
Common ground.
Yeah, common say that again.
Common ground.
Common ground. That one, yes, that one. So, and also I think that's something also I'm happy for that. I love about the army because I will say that I think the best friend I have ever had, I had them in the army. Like I will say hands down, because I fight with people, but I did those people become my best friends. I was like, hey, what's up, brother? I miss you, all those stuff, and seeing them every day. I think, yeah, me too. I will do it again. Like, hey, but I need to move on. Yes. Anyway, what as PA, what advice would you give to anybody who today who will be willing to go to your path, like who gonna be willing to be a PA or provider or anything as you or become officer? What advice can you give to anybody?
Okay. So if you are in the civilian and you are trying to figure out your career path, you are interested in medicine or healthcare as a whole, I want you to do your research. Now Google is there. A lot of things are out there. Find someone that you can reach out to. LinkedIn is another great place where you can actually reach out to someone and just, tell them who you are, and tell them where is it that you want to go and why you are contacting them. You think they are a good fit to give you some sort of advice on things like this. And again, in the civilian, it depends on where you want to go. If you want to go to the civilian PA and then join the Army, that's another great thing. And also the Army pays your loan if you come in from the civilian. Okay, so who can say no to that? So
I will say no. but you can try me though.
I doubt it. So if you are in a civilian, do your research, of course, and there you can find someone who possibly have been in the Army and get out and pursue their PA studies outside, or you have somebody that is came from the civilian and joined the Army, so you can get both their perspective. Actually, there was it's not even a friend. A friend referred one of his friends to me because they are a PA in the civilian and they want to join the Army, but they don't know for sure, what is the job like. Right. So I talk to them and I let them know every other aspect where they can be a PA in the Army. And I also have my supervisor, my actual OIC. He was prior enlisted, and then he got out, complete his PA studies outside, and then came back in. So, and another thing is when you are prior enlisted and you come back, or you go through the IPAP and you come back, they pay you more because of your prior service.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Definitely use the platforms that we have available now. Do your research. I think nowadays there are a lot of people who want to help somebody. And the advice that we give you, the information that they will give you, that's the greatest thing that they can ever offer you. So make sure that you do your part of the homework, you do your research, reach out, and find out what are the other things that you need to do. This is what I also have medics. So I train medic. They are like my nursing assistant. So with my medic, some medic want to proceed and be a PA, or some of them want to be a doctor. And one thing that I tell them is make sure you get shadowing experience. Okay, not only for PAs, but also doctors, nurse practitioners, surgeon, and all that. Because what is going to make that difference in you being accepted, whether it is in the IPAP or in the civilian, is your personal statement. And in your personal statement, you have to be able to let them know why you are that person based on what you have done. So if you have the opportunity to shadow, a lot of hospitals have shadowing, like volunteers, offices that you can go and ask questions. Some of them have programs that are specifically entailed to individuals who want to go on the medical aspect of career. So they will help you get your hours, because for those applications you need a number of hours. I think Some of them are 200 or over 300 hours that you need to do patient care before submitting your application.
Okay, that's great. When you were saying you mentioned something about there's a lot of people who's willing to help, and I think that's a good transition to talk about Canva. We can place 1 or 2 words. Honestly, I didn't know about the Canva until I get introduced with Canva by Staff Sergeant Razaki Nazifu. I say hi if he's passing by, and I was like, "What is Kamfa?" And then he got me in the WhatsApp group where I figured out there was a lot of there was like I like to call them a lot of big dogs, like the high rank soldiers, all this stuff. And can you tell us something about the Kamfa? And I know on my channel there's a lot of guys who also are in the military, so how maybe the Kamfa might be like how the Canva can help us, and also hopefully I'm trying to see if like I can make an interview with one of those major who create Canva to tell us more about the organization and everything. But if you can give us like a heads up about what is Canva, because I know you're part of it, what is it about, and what is the goal, and how that the Canva can help a soldier to progress in his career.
Yeah, so Canva is a group that is created for anyone who can identify themselves as, African descent. And this is anyone. If you are Indian and you think you have some sort of African blood in you, you are welcome to join Canfa. And Canfa is more of a mentorship organization that we have. There is a national Canfa USA, and they have a local Canfa at each individual duty station. Okay, so Canfa right now is not at every duty station, but whatever station where anyone can create Canfa, they are welcome to create Canfa. And for me, I will relate that last time when I did my promotion, most people that are there were from Canfa, and they came to support me. And there is a lot of prior enlisted. There are people who have retired. There are people who are still active duty. So they have a lot of information, a lot of resources, especially when you go to a new duty station that you don't know like what to do, or when it comes to housing, finding babysitter for your family, whatever you may need, there will be someone in Canfa that can help you, get an answer to that. So I know that usually the fact that we are at a different duty station is not hard to be a part of it, but sometimes we may be like, oh, I'm just here for either 2 years or so, I'm not gonna stay, so there's no need for me to be there. But no, Canfa is something that is here and is here to stay. Again, we say Army is very small, right? So one way or another, you will find someone in Canfa at another duty station, or you will need something, and if you are not a part of it, I mean, you can actually ask around, but it's just easier to go to that source for any resources that you may need.
Oh, okay, that's great, because I think I read a couple of messages, and then there was like some people who get they get referral, like they were asking if somebody can write them like letter of referral. That word is
recommendation.
Letter of recommendation. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So one thing about the Army, I don't know who I was talking to earlier, but Army recognize you for the things that you are not responsible to do, but you do. Okay, so your daily job, you do that. Okay, you don't get recognized for it.
Right.
But when it comes to you getting award and ribbon and all this, you do the things that you were not asked, but from your own, principle of life and your own value, you decided to do it. That's what you get recognized for. So being a part of Comfort, this is like we trying to build a group, or it is a group, it is an organization where you're going to volunteer time, right, your energy, and sometimes your money when it comes to putting together a community activity or things like this. So when you are involved in something like that, what does the organization give you back? And one of that is you being able to put on your resume or whatsoever that you have been a member of CONFA, and depend on how active you are, someone will know you based on your character instead of your duty, your duties that you do. And with that, someone can really write a great letter of recommendation, because now, yeah, skills, we know skills, you learn it, you have it, but your character is what does the job. Right. It's not your skill. Your character is what does the job. Just to think about it, there is a lot of doctors, right? There is a lot of lawyers, there is a lot of dentists, and you name it. But how they do their job is from who they are. And that's when you come to Comfort, that's what we want to see. Who are you? Is you are no longer in the military, army aspect where you had to say, yes, ma'am, but who are you really? So it's a great organization to participate in, and also be active. Don't just be there, because if you are not active, people will not know what you can give and who you really are as an individual. So yeah, participate. If you have CONFA, or we have CONFA USA on Facebook, you can go there and ask to join, and depend on what jurisdiction you are, you can send me an email or a text, not a text, a message. And I will try to connect you with someone who can help you with who you are.
Now that you mention it, I will go and confirm. Like, I want to make a video with everybody. That's all I can get. Like, I'll do like I do videos and interviews. So I want to get video. I want to have everybody on my show. So maybe I can get it connected. Who knows? Hey, but that's a joke. But yeah, why not? I have a question. Somebody was asking: is Camphor exclusively for the army, or member of the army can be part of it?
So Comfort is exclusive for the army. No. So we are mainly, the population is mainly army. Okay. But could there be Air Force, Navy, and all that? Yes. Okay. Yes. But you will find main Comfort group in army, on army basis.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense. Somebody was also asking, like a prior enlisted or one got higher salary than a brand new. Oh, I think the person was asking the question regarding when you say, like, when you were prior service, like prior enlisted, like you get paid more than somebody who just came in as. Yeah, I guess yes. Yeah.
Yes. So if you are prior enlisted and you came in as 01, you get a higher pay. So you will get a higher pay until you reach major, and then your pay stop. You don't get a higher than someone.
That should keep going though. Like,
no,
come on.
No. But okay. Yes, if you are prior enlisted, you get paid 01E, whereas the E stand for enlisted, and if you just join, you get paid 01.
Okay. I think somebody found something. He's like, to find myself and easily figure out my life. I got another argument to come up with the consular agent on why I would join the army. Okay, all right, you take something from this. That's good. If you guys still have the question, n'hésitez pas à mettre vos questions en commentaire. And yeah, I will take them as long as we're moving. But
Okay.
et n'hésitez pas aussi à laisser des pouces bleus. N'hésitez pas aussi à choosir super chat, support if you guys like want to donate. That'll be welcome. I got a lot of stuff I need to buy and I got a lot of ideas I need to but yeah, I need I need funds so to make them to make them happen. So please don't forget to participate. And now I think we're almost done. What is there is a lot of people who are gonna be watching this video in Africa. Some of them are in the US as captain in the army, as a PA, as officer. What advice can you give to anybody who's coming to America? Because for me, when I was back home, the image I had from America was like, great, everything's nice, everything's easy. I even thought like I would become successful in 5 years. I didn't know that was like a long process going on. But what advice can you give to anybody coming to US about life, about school, and about the army?
So for any new person who is coming here, again, your success in a way will depend on who you surround yourself with. How many initiative you take on your own, how many responsibility you take on yourself, and so on. So before you join the army or in regard to career wise, you really need to, if you don't speak the language is very important. So try libraries, watch kids show and things like that to get yourself into speaking the language. And once you get, and also finding a job, if you don't have the language, it's hard to find a decent job, but it's not impossible. Okay. So if there is a little job here that you can do, go ahead, take it, put the ego on side that you are this back home or you are that back home, and really embrace what is this new challenge that you have before you. Make sure you get the language down. And then once you get the language down, which is going to be a process, you're not going to wake up in 2 months or a year and and start speaking or expressing yourself correctly when it comes to the language. But at least try every day to better yourself, associate yourself with people who speak the language, and at the same time be vigilant. Be vigilant in a way that don't be humble, but don't let people walk over you. Because when you come and they know that you don't speak the language, the way they treat you is definitely different. So just be vigilant in regard to who you associate yourself with and how they treat you. Now, when it comes to joining the army, again, if you are coming from back home, if you speak the language is different, you can just like kind of translate your degrees. And if you have a bachelor's back home or a master back home, you can translate your degrees and you can use that to get into the army. And of course, you had to be citizen or have your green card in order to join. And once you join, if the language is not so great, the army also have language center where you will actually go to school and learn English, and then go from there. Now, when it comes to career path, education is great. However, there is you can make a living, a decent living without education, but that depends on what initiative you take and what are those things that are important to you. So depend on your mean, you can go straight to school. But again, if you are here and you haven't worked, you don't have any tax income, it's very hard for you to, to get a financial aid. So you have to make sure that you work for maybe a year or two, file tax, and then use that to get some financial aid to go to school. And within the school, you can also take some language classes, and use that to progress your career. And when it comes to career, this is America. You can make it in any domain that you want to. So the opportunities are endless, but you had to be very much disciplined and focused. And I know another thing is, many of us that come here and we still have parents back home, yes, you need to take care of your parent, but you also need to save. You need to have something, because if you think about it, if you come here and you don't pay your rent 1 or 2 years, or 1 month or 2 months,
you out.
Are out. You are out. So you have to make your parent also understand that, because most of the time that's not how we grow up. The idea is that, oh, you are abroad, you should take care of the whole family. But it takes years for someone to, once they come here, to actually realize themselves, where they have a house and a car, all those like basic need. It takes some years. If you have the right person, and also if you are able to listen to someone who has been here and guide you, you don't need 20 years to realize those things. You can use 5 years and actually commit yourself, and in 5 to 7 years or 8 years, you have those basic needs that will be met, and you just go about and live your American dream, or whatever you want to do with your life in US.
Thank you. I think that was a lot. That was a lot of good, like great idea and advice. Hey, please take it from somebody who been here for how many years? You been here?
August will be 20 years.
All right, take it from somebody who been here for 20 years, so she knows what she's talking about. So make good thing out of the advice you're getting. That's why I'm bringing those people here, like, to share their experience, because they are the people I'm looking up to, and I feel like I believe that sharing experience is key, especially in America, because information and experience together makes it better. So please, nothing is gonna be new. You just need to have somebody that you look up to and take an example from those people and grow and make yourself better. I'm one of those people. Whenever somebody make a mistake and somebody say, "Hey, don't do that," I better listen, because I don't want to go through the same thing and then like before realizing. I like to take example, like, oh, this person did this, it works. I can do that too. This person did this, it didn't work. I think I should watch out. So that's how you grow. That's how you learn. So you save yourself some time, and also your path will go your path will go fast and easy. So please make the best out of this advice. If you want to be in the army or you want to be a PA, you know what to do. Watch this video over and over again. I'm pretty sure she says she's open to questions. You mind if I put your Facebook on comments so they can reach out to you, or whatever, maybe your email?
No, that's fine. You can, put my Facebook link there, and they can, whatever they have question about. I think I have the resources to answer those questions. And if I can't, I will direct them to somebody who can actually help them.
Okay, no problem. And also the camphor, don't forget. Somebody was even asking to spell the camphor, so he's trying to
Oh,
find them.
so CAMFA is CAAMFA.
All right. So CAAMFA. Yep, camphor. Okay. And this person asked this question: is the reserve route for the army officer also interesting alongside with some benefits? How is it different from being active duty officer?
Okay, so the benefit when it comes to reserve and active duty are totally different. Okay, and it also depends on if you are reserve, what is it that you do? Okay, because if you are in reserve, first you're going to have your own job. That will be
Right.
your main source of income. Your own job will be your main source of income. Whereas in active duty, you are a soldier 24/7. So your main income is from, is from the military. Whether you went to work today or not, you still get paid. Okay.
Yep.
But in the civil, in the reserve, that's not the case. And another benefit that is associated with it is how years in service. So when you are active duty, your year in service is a lot shorter. So you can, complete 20 years and retire quicker than someone who is in the Army Reserve. Okay.
Yeah. That's funny because speaking of that, I've just figured out that 1 year in National Guard is 1 month in active duty. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And I spent 2 years in National Guard. So now that I came in active, I was like, how did I spend 2 years in National Guard? They're like, yeah, you're 2 years in National Guard. It is 2 months in active duty. So don't expect anything out of it. I was like, wow. So it's also good to have this in mind when you're trying to join the military, especially like when you want the benefit or something, because also maybe like rank wise, if you want to rank up all this stuff, it's also good to know that they don't have the same opportunity to rank up fast, because it's easy to rank up in active duty. I mean, I believe so. Instead of like being reserved. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I think honestly, it was very nice talking to you. It was very good, like learning from your experience, your path, your service, and thank you for your service. And yeah, it was nice having you. I don't know if you guys don't have any kind of question, I think we will let her go. That was what, 1 hour and 16 minutes of great pleasure to talk to you, learning. And you see, we have like 10, 15 people in live. So hey, that's something, they've been catching up. You guys, you see, your English is getting better. You see, don't keep complaining. You guys getting better. So I appreciate you guys. 10 people in comment. You guys doing great. Everybody got candy. Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
I
you
really
for having
appreciate
me.
you. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. You take care.
Yep.
Bye,
Bye bye.
everyone. Yeah.
En tout cas, merci à vous. Merci à vous qui avez été dans ce live. Merci d'avoir participé. Merci à vous qui avez posé des questions. Ça a été super intéressant de pouvoir discuter avec notre sœur aînée. Et sincèrement, n'hésitez pas si vous avez des questions. Vous pouvez toujours les laisser au bas de cette vidéo. Plus tard, je pourrai recenser ces questions et en faire une autre vidéo. Ça ne me dérange pas. Et voilà. Donc, merci à vous. Merci. Laissez des pouces bleus, laissez des commentaires. Et déjà demain, je pense, je reviens avec une autre vidéo avec l'agent inconnu, vous connaissez. Vous savez, The Unknown Agent. So, voilà, merci à vous. N'hésitez surtout pas aussi à me faire des suggestions suggestions de sujets. Je vois des sujets dont vous voulez que je parle, ou bien des personnes si vous avez des youtubeurs ou bien des personnes que vous appréciez, dont vous voulez savoir davantage, n'hésitez pas à m'envoyer leur nom ou bien tout ce qu'ils font. Là, je peux essayer d'aller parler à ces gens, essayer de caler un truc avec eux. Et voilà, merci à vous, merci à Dario, enfin, merci à Salmon, merci à Kofi, merci à Xavier, merci également à qui encore, j'ai vu plein de gens. Merci à, voilà, toutes les personnes. David, Tikala, voilà. Merci à vous. Merci à Arman. Et voilà. N'hésitez pas, comme je dis, un pouce bleu, un commentaire. Je suis vraiment content que ce genre de contenu vous intéresse. Donc, on continue. Et je vais même d'avoir une idée. Ça, vous savez, j'ai pensé à un truc, je ne sais pas qu'est-ce que vous en pensez, mais je veux lancer une cagnotte. D'accord? Et quand nous atteindrons les 5000 abonnés, parce qu'actuellement, nous sommes combien? 2600 abonnés sur ma chaîne. À 5000 abonnés, je fais une cagnotte pour donner $200. $200 pour les 5000 abonnés. Du coup, je vais faire un tirage au sort. Je suis en train de réfléchir aux modalités. Je pense juste que je vais faire le tirage au sort entre les personnes qui commentent, qui like et qui partagent plus mes vidéos. Et le heureux gagnant va gagner $200. Peut-être à mes 10 000 abonnés, je vais ajouter. Donc, en tout cas, dites-moi ce que vous en pensez. C'est juste une idée que j'ai mis là d'ailleurs comme ça. Dites-moi en commentaire ce que vous en pensez. Et on verra comment procéder, tu vois. Donc, si vous êtes chaud par rapport à ça, dites-le moi en commentaire. Et on va pouvoir voir comment on peut faire ça. En tout cas, merci à vous. Là, maintenant, j'ai fait, il faut que j'aille manger. Donc, passez une très bonne journée. Prenez soin de vous. Fabuleux Saint, ça a été un plaisir. Flex. Non, je vais ça encore. Flex!